Hello everybody, and welcome to this in-depth iMovie for iOS tutorial. Today I'm going to be taking some footage that I'm also going to be uploading to this channel, and I'm going to show you how my YouTube videos are made. So I'm going to go through splicing, doing jump cuts, transitions, filters, music if you want it. I'm going to show you how to clean up a project a little bit if you need to, how to navigate very efficiently without having to know a whole bunch of gestures and things. And I am going to show you just, a couple of other miscellaneous things along the way, so I hope you enjoy. So, I do apologize for my squeaky chair and the way that I'm doing this, as I don't quite have a way to directly jack my phone's audio into my board yet. So I'm going to preface this by saying I'm going to be doing this with a keyboard. If you do not have a keyboard, this is a lot harder. I'm going to be doing this with the Apple keyboard as well. But these commands can be adopted to the keyboard that you have. You just need to know where your control and option keys are matched to, because you need them for your voiceover keys. But anyway, let's get started. Here I am in the iMovie interface on my iPhone 8 Plus. And the first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about the interface that I'm in right now when you first open iMovie. So across the top of the interface, you have three tabs.
Video button.
You have a video tab.
Selected projects button.
The projects tab, which is where we are and where we want to be right now for the purposes of this tutorial.
Theater button.
And your iMovie Theater. And what that can be used for is if you publish projects to it as you complete them, and you have iMovie Theater turned on your other devices like your Apple TV and stuff like that, you can watch your finished products on your other devices.
Add project or trailer.
Okay, so here is the Add Project or Trailer button, which is what we want. But if I were to keep swiping past this, which I'm not going to do because these projects are actually works in progress, you would see in a grid pattern down the screen other projects that I've worked on. So I'm going to double tap on
Add project or trailer.
Add project or trailer.
Video button. Selected project movie button.
So you can either do a movie,
Trailer button.
or a trailer.
Movie button.
I'm going to do movie.
Movie media back button.
Okay, so here we are in the media browser. And here in the media browser, we have
Moments heading. Cancel button. Select button.
we have videos here. So at the very top should be your most recent, which I highly recommend you have your projects here just so you don't have to sort through them. But
Home. Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 20 minutes 26. 5 seconds.
okay, so that is the video that I want. I'm going to double tap on that.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 20 minutes 26. 5 seconds.
All right, it didn't say so, but it has just been selected, so that's what we want. Now we're going to go down to the very bottom of the display in the center and press
Create movie.
the Create Movie button.
Create movie. Return to project list button.
And here we are in the main iMovie interface. So before we get started editing this, I'm going to say a couple of things. First, we are going to be using a combination of QuickNav and non-QuickNav navigation. So I'm going to briefly explain how to use QuickNav. So QuickNav is manipulated via your up, down, left, and right arrow keys. And this isn't going to be a huge QuickNav tutorial, but if you guys want me to do a QuickNav tutorial, I will gladly do one. Just let me know in the comments or tweet me. I will give my Twitter handle at the end of the video. But anyway, So to turn quick nav on and off, it is the left and right arrow at the same time.
Quick nav off.
So it's off.
Quick nav on.
And now it's on. When quick nav is on, you can use your left and right arrow keys as if you were swiping with your finger, which is what we want to do. But if your quick nav is off,
quick nav off.
Again, by pressing the left and right arrow keys at the same time, then they act as normal left and right arrow keys, as if VoiceOver were not being manipulated by them. And we need both of those. So right now, I want to start with quick nav off. So, one more recap. It is the left and right arrow key at the same time.
Quick nav on.
And that turned my quick nav on, so I'm going to press them again.
Quick nav off.
And my quick nav is now off. That's where I want it. So, the first navigation I'm going to show you is how to skip forward and back by split point in your project. And split points are just either or where you have a transition between clips, or if you have the start or the end of a project. Those are the only places that can transition points can really be, is in between clips and at the start and end of your project. And because we only have one video clip here, if I take my thumb and just go down to my timeline, which is, so if I look down here at my timeline, which is actually the bottom portion of the screen here.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 20 minutes 26. 5 seconds.
That is my clip. If that length sounds familiar to you, that's because it is reading the same metadata that it read to us from the media importer. So now that I know that I'm here, by default, once you add a clip, it'll place your playhead at the end of the clip. To go to a previous clip with your quick nav off, press your up arrow key, and it jumped all the way back to the beginning. Now if I press my space bar, that is play pause, so I'm going to press play.
Logic Pro. 1 bar, 1 beat, 1 division 1. 4 beats, 4 division 2.
Alright, I'm going to pause it. So, because I recorded this video, I know where all of my edit points need to be. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press my space bar and let the video play up until my first split point, because I need to chop, I'd say, the first 30 or 40 seconds off the beginning of the video, because some things happened. I don't want to hear VoiceOver switching to Logic and me starting the recording, and I actually got an iMessage during that, so I want all that to be gone. So I am going to jump ahead to where I want my split point to be. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my space bar here, and my video is going to start advancing. And once I get to the spot that I want, I'm going to press my space bar to pause the motion of my playhead. And if you need to move in very fine measurements, frame by frame, you can use your left and right arrow keys as long as quick nav is off. So I'm going to press my space bar here, and I will see you once I get there. Okay, so now I am here where I want my split point to be. Thankfully, I used a little trick that my girlfriend actually suggested to me, and during my filming, I actually vocally told myself where I wanted my edit points to be. So, to put in a split point, which will actually split what is behind the playhead and what is in front of the playhead. So there is some, everything that happens at the beginning of the video that I want to get rid of will be split off from the rest of the video that I want to keep. So to do that, you press Command B.
Created November 18th, 2017.
All right. Now, VoiceOver is not going to say anything, but I will show you how to confirm that this is done. So, we're going to leave the Bluetooth keyboard alone for a second, because I actually use a combination of keyboard commands and VoiceOver gestures. So, here is how we confirm with our multi-touch gestures as well as our keyboard gestures. So, with multi-touch, you want to come into the interface, and I'm only showing you the bottom half of the interface because that's all we need right now. Everything up top, leave that alone. So here in the timeline, which is the bottommost portion of the screen, you want to feel around to your left, because your left is, on the left side of your screen is going to be what is behind your playhead. Your playhead will almost always be centered in your screen. So what is on the left portion is behind, and what is on the right portion is ahead of your playhead. Since you just put a split in here, what is to the left of your playhead will be what you want to get rid of, because I'm trying to get rid of things at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to explore over here.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 24.2 seconds.
Duration 24.2 seconds. Okay, that's really short. I just happen to know that that's what I want to get rid of. Now, if I swipe to the left...
Lift zoom button. Created lift zoom.
There's nothing there, because that is the first clip in my video.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 24.2 seconds.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to swipe right.
Transition 1 in track movie.
That is my first transition. A transition happens either at the beginning, at the end, or between two video clips. Because I have originally only imported one video clip and I split it, I have two video clips. So that's where this transition comes from. If I swipe to the right again...
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 20 minutes 2 seconds.
You can see that's much longer because that's the rest of the video that I want to keep. Now, alongside that, you can use the Bluetooth keyboard by turning Quick Nav on with the left and right arrows at the same time.
Quick Nav on.
And if I press the left arrow,
Transition 1 in track movie.
there's my transition. That's equivalent to a swipe left. I'm going to do it again.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 24.2 seconds.
Now, how do I get rid of this? What I want to do is I can do one of two things. I can do a double tap on this to select it, or I can press my up and down arrow keys at the same time on my Bluetooth keyboard if I want to continue to use my keyboard only.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 24.2 seconds. Adjustable.
Alright, it said adjustable, which means it's selected so I can change things. But what I want to do is I want to go up here on my keyboard and I want to press my backspace.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 20 minutes 3 seconds.
Alright, that's all that's left. So if I press my space bar, alright, so now I have the video starting where I want it to start. So I'm going to continue using the method that I showed earlier and advancing my playhead until I get to the next edit point, and I will see you guys there. Alright everybody, so I am here at my next edit point. And here I gibber a little bit, I have to do some things with voiceover, so I am going to press Command B to do a split right here. Here we go. And the split has been made, so I'm going to confirm this by pressing my back arrow.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 17 minutes 34.20. Insert media. Created transition 1. Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 2 minutes 27.8 seconds. Help. But created November 18th.
Okay, so the way that I usually tell if my splits are done right is because I keep track of how many I make and how many clips I should have in my library. But
Quick Nav off.
I'm going to turn Quick Nav off, and I'm going to show you a way of navigating by split point. If you use your up arrow, you can navigate backwards by split point with Quick Nav off, and if you use your down arrow, because I'm all the way at the beginning right now, if I press my down arrow, it takes me all the way up to my next split point, which starts right here. I'm going to press my space bar.
Anyway.
Here we go. We're going to let it go forward.
Voiceover on. Mixer group. In mixer group. Haunting lo-fi chord. Calming waves channel strip group. You are currently on channel. Calming waves channel strip group. You are currently on channel strip group. Inside of the group. To interact with items in this group, press
I'm just
Control
checking
Option,
some things.
Down arrow. To exit this group, press Control Tab 0D. Piano and upright bass button. Calming waves. Name text. Calming waves. P-I-N-O-P-L-E-A-D. Out of piano lead. Ponty Lo-Fi chord piano lead channel strip group.
Let's go. All right. So, as I said, I actually tell myself when I want my edits to start. So, now I have my playhead where I want my next split point to be. So, I'm going to press Command B. And there's the split.
Quick nav on.
Turn Quick Nav on.
Riff zoom button. Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 16 minutes 58. 4 seconds. Adjustable.
Okay, that's the last clip. I'm going to
transition to and track movie. Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 35.9 seconds.
Okay, that's what I want to get rid of. I'm going to double tap to select it and delete it.
Created November 18th. Quick nav off.
Now I'm going to turn Quick Nav off and use my left arrow to just hold it down and go backwards a bit so that I can kind of ride through that transition naturally, see how it is. Let me go back a little more. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So, okay, close enough. All right. So, I will see you guys at the next split point. Another split point. Command B. Another split point. Command B. And we're getting rid of some more. Here's some more. All right, guys. So, I have all of my project edits done. So, the next thing I am actually going to do is I am going to show you how to add a title screen and import stuff into this. I will not be using the Bluetooth keyboard for this, although you can. So, the first thing I'm going to direct your attention to is you're going to want to probably select your first transition before you do this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a title screen onto the beginning of this video. Hey guys, so the next thing I am going to do is I am going to create a title screen. So the first thing you want to do is use your up arrows on your keyboard to make sure that your playhead is all the way back to the beginning of your project. Then you want to look on the left side of the screen. You can swipe to it, but it's on the left side of the screen, kind of 2/3 of the way up, maybe towards the middle.
Insert media button.
You want to find the Insert Media button.
Photos, back button.
And in my case, I already have Photos open because I tested this earlier, but you want to navigate to Photos. Let me go back
Photos,
and show
back
you.
Button, back button. Recently added back button. Cancel.
Okay, so here I am. I want to go to Photos, but let me show you the options we have.
Moments.
We have Moments,
Video.
Videos,
Photos.
Photos.
Albums. Audio. Camera.
That's where you would go to insert pictures and video if you wanted to take them straight into your timeline.
Voiceover.
You can do side-by-side recording with your video.
iCloud Drive.
And import stuff to iCloud Drive. Now note when importing things, wherever your playhead is where it will create this.
Moments. Video. Photos.
So we're going to go to Photos.
All. Created.
All.
Photo created. Duration. Created.
That one.
Return to project list button.
And it just automatically plops you in here. So if you explore.
Created November 18th, 2017. Duration 2 minutes 26. 8 seconds.
There is the first video clip in the project. If I swipe to the left, instead of just leaving the timeline.
Transition 1 in track movie.
There's a transition there. And if I swipe to the left again.
Created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
Okay, so that is a picture. And it tells me that the picture will run for about 5 seconds, which is fine. That's what I want. So I'm going to double tap on that to select it.
Created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
Now, towards the bottom of the screen, some things appear.
Selected. Actions. Button.
Here are some actions.
Speed. Dimmed. Button. Audio. Dimmed. Button. Text options. Button. Filters. Button. Filters. Button. Duplicate. Button.
And up above that
Delete. Button.
are some actions. So you can duplicate this or delete this.
Selected. Actions. Button.
So I want to go to text options.
Speed. Audio. Text options. Button. Selected. Text options. Audio. Dimmed. Button.
And if I look up above here,
Selected. None.
you have none,
Simple.
simple,
Standard.
standard.
Prism.
Let's see which one I want.
Gravity. Reveal. Line. Print step symbol. Focus.
I'm going to go with
symbol.
simple. And if I look up in the play window, which is on the top part of your screen.
Title text here. Button. Title text field is editing. Title text here. Character mode. Insertion point at end.
Now I am in a text field, so I'm going to do a Command A to select all.
Type selection deleted.
Get rid of all that stuff. Let me move my mic a little bit. And
Cap E-L-C-O-E T O space M-Y space caps A-A-N-E-L period space caps W-T-T-O A-N-E space at cap A-O-A-T-O-A-E-O 3-6.
okay, so I'm going to press enter.
Text field is edited.
So now I have a title with some text here, and you can actually look at a lot of those templates to see what's going on. But that's all I want to do for that. I want to move on to adding transitions.
Left trim knob for created. Undo button. Left trim knob for created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, VoiceOver. When you have a clip selected, such as this picture, say if I wanted to make it longer.
Right trim knob for created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
Double tap and hold. Drag. And it makes it longer.
Created. Duration 30.7 seconds.
And now it's 30 seconds long, but I definitely don't want one that long, so I'm going to go over to my keyboard.
Project edit.
And press
Project
undo.
Edit. Created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
There we go. So now,
Transition 1 in track movie.
double tap on the transition. I just swipe to the right to it.
Transition 1 in track movie.
So now, you have some options.
2.0 1 point selected. 1.0s button.
These are the length of your transitions you want.
Quick nav on. 0.5s button.
So you can have it as half a second,
Selected. 1.0s.
1 second,
1.5s but 2.0s. Inspector glyph sound off button.
and that is the option to have the sound on or off. Unfortunately, changing the type of transition isn't accessible. If you have a little bit of vision and you look quite right above that bottom line, you'll see where you can adjust these, but I don't know right now quite how to adjust them.
1.5 selected. 0.5s button.
But I'm going to leave it the way it is for right now and continue moving.
1.5 created November 18th, 2017.
So
Quick nav off.
let's start it up here. There's my transition screen. Okay, awesome. It faded the way that I wanted it to. Now, what you can also do is, if you put your playhead at the beginning of this, you can do things like add music with the media importer, and you can manipulate sound files just like you manipulate movie files. With the same trim knobs and everything the way that it works, it actually just shows up as a narrow strip right below your video in your timeline. So it's really easy. So the last thing I'm going to do is I want to have the same intro screen as my outro screen. So what I want to do, I'm going to show you how to do something else. I actually want my intro and my outro to be the same. So
Created. Duration 5.8 created.
I'm
Duration
going to
5.8 seconds.
I'm going to double tap on that picture that I added with the text.
Actions button.
Go
Selected.
to actions. Swipe to the left.
Selected. Actions but delete button. Duplicate button. Duplicate.
Press duplicate.
Left created. Duration 4.8 seconds.
Now, I'm going to show you how to drag clips around. I'm going to double tap and hold. Pull it up. And now I'm going to drag my finger to the right edge of the screen. You kind of have to play with how far it goes, because right now it's just auto scrolling, and I let go.
Created no transition. Created 15. Insert. Created. Duration 5.8 seconds.
And I have actually put it at the beginning of my at the end of my movie as well. I know that's a little confusing. It's not the best solution, but it is possible if you play with it. So, I've taught you how to navigate through iMovie. I have taught you how to enter split points, add clips, delete clips, enter pictures, text, and transitions. And this is the bulk of what I use iMovie for iOS for. For a more in-depth tutorial, stay tuned for my iMovie for Mac tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And before I leave you, I'm going to show you how to export and look at a couple of other things in your project. So,
Return to project list button.
if you don't care about that, feel free to close the video now. But for those who do, we're going to press our back button, which is in the upper left corner.
Play button, back button.
And here we have some options.
Player play overlay button.
There's the play button.
iMovie 8.
If we double tap there,
Text field is editing. iMovie 8.
I'm going to do a select all from my keyboard
Selection delete.
and delete that. And we're going to call this and hit enter. And there's my title.
Space X. 15 minutes, 8 second bullet, November 18th.
Okay, so it's 15 minutes, 8 seconds long.
Edit button, play, edit button.
There's the edit button where we would actually go in and do the things that we were just doing.
Play button.
There's another play button,
Share button.
a share button,
Delete button.
and a delete button. I'm going to go to share, actually.
Share button. Share. Copy. Save to files. Save to Dropbox button. Draggable. Save video.
I'm going to
button.
save this video.
Choose at choose at medium 300 4K.
Going
Button.
to save it in 4K.
Exporting movie.
And that's all I need to do. Seriously, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this.